Welcome back everyone to another beer review. Christmas jumps in the wash. I was going to be festive for you. I did think about, as you can see up there, jukebox is on. I've got festive music on. Did think about having it going in the background, but I thought if I put that on you'll listen to that more than me, so we've avoided that. So another beer coming up now, another beer review. Now we're not going along with all this fucking craft beer. We're doing the beers on this channel that people want to see. We're doing the beers for people that keep it real. This beer review is keeping it real. So next beer up is the beer that is going to keep it real for us. And it's from Morissons. And it's a can of their Savours Bitter coming in at 2%. This is hard hitting stuff. We are going right to the heart of beer drinkers here. And we are reviewing the beers that people want to see. So, without further ado, after that aggressive British rant, let's get this out the can, see if I'm a fan. So, happy Friday everyone, a week to the big day. No doubt a lot of people are getting excited. I've had an explosion. Do you know what? I just watched bloody Dean's beer reviews and seen his Christmas beer explode. And not for 1 second would I thought a Morrison Savour beer would have done that to me. Bastard. So, as I was saying anyway, a week to the big day. Me and my missus are pretty much ready. Excuse me for getting a bit close to the camera there. Happens to be a towel lying rather handy, so I've got to mop all this shit up. So I hope you're all prepared. Hope you're kind of looking forward to enjoying Christmas as best you can, really, because it's all a bit fucked up at the moment, isn't it? Let's be honest. Excuse me. COVID and bans and bollocks and all that lot and tears and shit. Anyway, like I said, yeah, hopefully you're all looking forward to it. Let's get on with this beer review. As I say, Savours Bitter, shit design, same as a lager, shit. 2%. This was a whopping, keeping it real price, 90p for 4 cans. So, I mean, this is the beer that probably even tramps can afford. No disrespect to tramps, but you know what I mean? If you're begging, even you can probably afford that. And to be honest, by the time I've tasted it and given my review, you'll probably be like me and probably never want to drink it again. So let's crack on anyway. Beer in a glass. Yes, it's bitter colour. It's that typical bitter colour, if you like, maybe a little bit lighter. But it's nice to see that it's looking like a bitter, if nothing else. There's a little bit of carbonation coming up. Look at the head on that. Looks like someone's had a fucking mouthful out of it. It looks a bit, even the head looks poor, to be honest. It's white, spacious, foamy. It looks pretty awful, to be honest. But let's dive in on the nose. Let's see what we get. The fuck is that? This genuinely smells. Now with the lager that I done, anyone that's seen that, it had a kind of malty kind of smell to it. There was a bit of lemon in there as well. Wasn't the greatest smelling lager, but it resembled a lager. This genuinely smells like dishwater. Dishwater that you've put the dishes in the night before in water and you've woken up the following morning, and if you filled a glass up, that's what that would smell like. It smells absolutely fucking awful. It really does. And I would actually go to the extent that it smells and looks worse than the lager. It just goes to show where your 20p goes. So, without further, how many times can you sniff a shit beer without any? Oh, let's just fucking dive in on it. Cheers. Now, trust me, I'm not going to say this is a great beer. I'm not going to. Let's go in again. Thin, pissy, watery. There's no hiding that. There is carbonation there, very little. And I actually think if it had a decent body to it and what have you, would actually suit the beer, because nobody like you don't have bitters raging with carbonation. So for me, they got the carbonation. Maybe could be a little bit better, but not bad. Taste wise, for me, there is a resemblance of bitter in it. It's got that sort of a little bit of a sweet taste in there. And it does actually resemble a bitter in taste. It's very thin. It's definitely not as watery as the lager. It has some kind of taste in there. I'm not going to build this up to be anything fantastic. It seriously isn't. If I'd paid £3 for this, I think I'd personally take it back to the shop and fucking pour it down the bloke who served me's mouth, or the manager's mouth myself. You know what I mean? But there is a hint of that bitter taste. But it does go watery on the end. Yes, it's poo. But I'll tell you how bad it is. That when I reviewed the lager, I actually couldn't drink the rest of it. It was absolutely fucking awful. Really awful. This, unbelievably, and I know some people out there might go, how the hell can you say that? This, unbelievably, as bad as it is, really, has enough in it for me, does have enough in it for me, that I can actually see why people would drink this. If they want something weak to make a shandy out of, maybe, as well. I mean, at 2% it's almost a shandy anyway, isn't it? Let's face it, it's a shandy anyway. Yeah, I could see why some people would drink that. I think we are looking at maybe old people that don't drink much, like the odd drink, like something weak, easy to drink. It's very easy to drink. It's 2%. It's got to be easy to drink. I've had stronger cups of tea than this. Let's be honest. But it's not the worst beer I've ever had. And if I'm brutally honest here, the lager is awful. I threw that down the sink. Excuse me. I actually think I could drink these 4 cans that I got of these. For me, they're not so awful that I couldn't drink them, whereas a lager I couldn't drink. And I actually think I could drink this over Carling, which is pretty shocking. So for something that I was expecting to probably be joint worst beer I have ever drunk, it's actually surprised me. Because it's better than the lager in my opinion. It's better than the lager in my opinion. And I would actually much rather drink that than Carling. And I cannot believe I am actually saying that. So there you go. That's my opinions on this beer. And it's not a great beer. But there you go. Morrison's Savours Bitter. 4 cans for 90p. So we are looking about 22.5 pence a can. And I can, in my view, in my opinion, my honest opinion, I actually think that is not the worst beer I have ever drunk. It's pretty shocking. Don't get me wrong, it is pretty shocking. And just to prove that it's not as bad as you think, it is pretty poor though. But it is not the worst beer I've ever had. So there you go. I still wouldn't recommend this. I still really, to be honest, cannot see why Morrisons are making beer this week. But, as I've said, it's not the worst beer I've ever had. So I'm contradicting myself there. If you've had this before, let me know what you think. Yes, it is shocking. I'd much rather spend an extra quid or two and get something with a bit more flavour and a bit more percentage. But that's what it is. Obviously people buy it. God knows why. And that's it. As I say, that's it for this review. So thanks for watching, everyone. Like and share my video. Subscribe to my channel. Don't forget All the Beer No Idea on Facebook, All the Beer No Idea 1 on Twitter and Instagram. I'll be back with some more beer reviews any minute now. That was a nice little stopgap. Well, it wasn't a nice little stop. It was a little stopgap between doing another beer review. Anyone that doesn't watch any more of my videos before Christmas, there will be a few coming up. But if you don't, anyone that doesn't get round to it, thank you very much for subbing, watching. Have a great Christmas. Thanks for all your support. And I'll see you again after Christmas if you don't watch. But if you do keep watching, keep an eye out because there'll be more coming. So thanks very much, and I'll see you again. Another beer review. Cheers.